Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The diagnostic trouble code DTC P0711 indicates a problem within the automatic transmission fluid ATF temperature sensor circuit in the Honda Odyssey for model years 2011 through 2017. This error suggests an electrical fault rather than a mechanical issue within the transmission system. The ATF temperature sensor plays a crucial role in monitoring the temperature of the transmission fluid, providing essential data for optimal transmission operation and management. When this sensor malfunctions, it may lead to inappropriate transmission fluid temperatures that can affect overall vehicle performance and drivability. It's important to note that prior to any troubleshooting steps, it is recommended to gather all freeze data and onboard snapshot measurements using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS. Reviewing the general troubleshooting information is also crucial for comprehensive diagnostics. The automatic transmission fluid ATF temperature sensor is an essential component located near the transmission within the Honda Odyssey. This sensor is responsible for accurately measuring the temperature of the transmission fluid, which is critical for optimal transmission performance and longevity. It relays temperature data to the engine control unit, ECU, which uses this information to make real-time adjustments to the transmission's functioning. If the sensor sends incorrect temperature readings, it can cause the transmission to overheat or operate inefficiently, potentially resulting in greater mechanical issues over time. Therefore, addressing any issues related to the ATF temperature sensor is vital for maintaining the overall health of the transmission system. The most common causes associated with DTC P0711 primarily revolve around electrical issues rather than mechanical breakdowns. First, there may be a failure within the electrical circuit that connects the ATF temperature sensor to the engine control unit, ECU. This circuit carries crucial data, and any break or short can lead to inaccurate sensor readings. Additionally, a faulty ATF temperature sensor itself can result in erroneous temperature data being sent to the ECU. Lastly, problems related to wiring or connectors, such as corrosion, fraying, or loose connections, can also interfere with the sensor's performance. Each of these factors can impact the transmission's efficiency, leading to the need for thorough diagnostics. When DTC P0711 is triggered, several symptoms can manifest as indicators of a problem. Drivers may notice incorrect temperature readings on the dashboard or through the HDS system, signifying that the vehicle's ATF temperature is being inaccurately reported. Additionally, transmission overheating can become a critical issue if the sensor fails to monitor the temperature correctly, leading to poor transmission performance. Finally, erratic shifting behaviors may arise. The transmission may shift unexpectedly or hesitantly, disrupting the driving experience. Being aware of these symptoms can assist in timely diagnostics and repairs to ensure the vehicle remains operable and safe. The first step in troubleshooting DTC P0711 is to turn the ignition switch to the on/to position without starting the engine. This action powers the vehicle's electrical systems, allowing you to check various data points through the HDS. You will then check the automatic transmission fluid, ATF temperature, in the AT data list displayed on the HDS screen. An important aspect of this step is observing whether the ATF temperature reads -4 degrees Celsius, -20 C Fahrenheit, or below. This reading is critical for determining the next steps in the troubleshooting process. If the temperature indicates such low values, it suggests there is a potential issue with the temperature sensor circuit that needs to be addressed immediately. In this step, the next action requires you to start the engine and allow it to warm up to a normal operating temperature. which is indicated when the radiator fan engages. This warm-up process is vital, as it will enable accurate temperature readings during the subsequent check. After the engine has reached its normal operating temperature, you will again check the ATF temperature using the HDS. The objective here is to observe whether the ATF temperature remains at or below -4 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius. If the reading continues to show low temperatures, it further confirms potential issues with the ATF temperature sensor, guiding you to replace the sensor. On the other hand, if the sensor reads a normal temperature, this indicates an intermittent failure, which might not pose an immediate concern. During this step, you will once again check the ATF temperature using the HDS after ensuring the engine is properly warmed up. At this stage, it's essential to verify if the ATF temperature remains at or below -4 degrees Fahrenheit, -20 degrees Celsius. If, despite the engine being at normal operating temperature, the ATF continues to read low temperatures, it typically signifies that the ATF temperature sensor has malfunctioned, making it necessary to replace this critical component. Replacing the sensor will ensure accurate monitoring of the ATF temperature. Following the replacement, it's recommended to proceed with further diagnostic steps to ensure the issue is fully resolved and the transmission operates effectively. Next, you will also need to check the ATF temperature while focusing on whether it exceeds 230 degrees Fahrenheit, 110 degrees Celsius. To initiate this process, turn the ignition switch back to the on position. Following this, monitor the ATF temperature using the HDS. A reading exceeding 230 degrees Fahrenheit indicates that there's a heightened risk of transmission overheating, necessitating a closer inspection of the ATF temperature sensor. If the temperature is above this threshold, the likely course of action would be to replace the ATF temperature sensor to prevent damages caused by overheating. If it does not exceed this temperature, it suggests the presence of possible intermittent failures, which can complicate matters but are manageable. To proceed with this troubleshooting step, let the engine cool until the engine coolant temperature reads at or below 122 degrees Fahrenheit, 50 Celsius. This temperature needs to be checked using the HDS. Once the engine cools sufficiently, you will once again measure the ATF temperature. It is crucial to monitor whether the ATF temperature is 230 degrees Fahrenheit, 110 Celsius, or higher. If the reading remains elevated, similar to the previous step, this indicates the necessity for an ATF temperature sensor replacement, as the sensor may be faulty. Conversely, if the ATF temperature is lower than this threshold, it signifies another example of intermittent failures, allowing a diagnostic window for further evaluation of the sensor's functionality. At this stage in the troubleshooting process, you need to turn the ignition switch to the on-I position once again. This action will allow you to reset the system and prepare to clear the DTC. After the ignition is on, access the HDS to clear the stored DTC P0711 from the system memory. This process typically involves navigating to the Diagnostic Trouble Code section in the HDS software and selecting the appropriate option to clear any fault codes. Clearing DTCs is a crucial step as it resets the system and allows for the monitoring of new data to determine if the previous issue has been resolved after the sensor replacement or repairs. Following this, it is essential to complete a test again to confirm that the reset was successful. Following the clearing of the DTC, the next step requires you to restart the engine once again. Allow the engine to warm up completely until the radiator fan comes on, indicating that it has reached its normal operating temperature. During this phase, keep a close eye on the ATF temperature as displayed on the HDS. It's essential to monitor how the ATF temperature reacts during this process. You are tasked with ensuring that the ATF temperature reads between -4 degrees Fahrenheit and 230 degrees Fahrenheit, -20 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius, under the specified conditions. This step is vital because it will confirm whether the previous issues related to the faulty ATF temperature sensor have been effectively resolved, or if further diagnostics are needed based on the data observed. Concluding the troubleshooting process involves checking for any new pending or confirmed DTCs using the HDS once more. After successfully running the vehicle under the specified conditions, assessing the presence of DTC P0711 will determine if the fault persists. If DTC P0711 reappears, it indicates that the problem was not adequately resolved, suggesting that further investigation is necessary to pinpoint the underlying issues. Conversely, if no DTCs are present, this signifies successful troubleshooting and indicates that the ATF temperature sensor and its circuit are functioning correctly. This final assessment validates the effectiveness of the repairs conducted and ensures that the vehicle is safe to operate without transmission-related issues. Upon completing all troubleshooting steps related to DTC P0711, it is crucial to conduct a final verification to ensure that all repairs have been executed correctly and effectively. This can include a visual inspection to confirm that the ATF temperature sensor has been replaced or repaired as necessary. After verifying repair completions, a comprehensive test drive should be performed to observe the vehicle's transmission behavior. During this drive, pay careful attention to the shifting patterns and monitor the ATF temperature through the HDS. Completing this final verification not only reassures that repairs were successful, but also confirms that the vehicle is in safe and optimal operating condition moving forward. To prevent future occurrences of DTC P0711 and safeguard your transmission system, it's essential to implement consistent preventive maintenance strategies. Regularly checking the automatic transmission fluid, ATF levels and quality is fundamental. Ensuring the fluid is clean and at the appropriate levels will aid in maintaining optimal temperature management for the transmission. Additionally, keeping an eye on ATF temperature readings through the HDS can help catch any irregularities before they develop into more serious issues. Incorporating these maintenance practices into your vehicle care routine will significantly reduce the likelihood of sensor failures and ensure the longevity and efficiency of the transmission system, thereby contributing to the overall health of the vehicle. In conclusion, understanding the role of the automatic transmission fluid, ATF temperature sensor, is essential for maintaining your Honda Odyssey's transmission functionality. DTC P0711 highlights electrical issues in the sensor circuit, necessitating prompt identification and resolution to avoid long-term damage. Troubleshooting decisions should be driven by systematic checks and evaluations of the ATF temperature readings to determine the sensor's health thoroughly. Whether replacing the sensor or correcting wiring issues, early intervention is crucial for mitigating possible transmission failures. Lastly, adopting preventive maintenance practices can significantly improve the reliability and longevity of the transmission system, ensuring a smoother driving experience overall. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.